Hail large enough to total your car is possible in central Kansas this afternoon. Today's Doppler score is 2.5 out of 10, a low-threat day overall, but that hail component is punching well above the rest at a 7. Before this briefing is done, I will tell you the exact city and hour I think takes the hardest hit. If this kind of specific forecast helps you plan your day, subscribe and tap that bell so you never miss one. My read on this setup is straightforward. A storm system pushing east has just enough upper-level energy to fire storms along a narrow corridor. But the real story is the wind profile aloft concentrating the worst output into a tight band across Kansas. Here is the mid-level flow map. Winds at the storm steering level are tightening into a focused channel right over Kansas, orienting storm tracks from west to east along that corridor. Now looking at the surface forecast chart. A cold front drops south from that low near the Colorado and Nebraska line. From central Kansas north through central Nebraska is where afternoon heating and converging winds will trigger the first cells. The one variable I am watching is timing. If storms fire before 3 p.m. local time, they will have more daylight instability to work with, and the hail threat goes up. If initiation stalls past 5, coverage stays more isolated. The hail probabilities tell the most important story today, so let me show you those numbers first. This is the Day 1 hail probability map. The 15% contour covers central to eastern Kansas in a yellow oval stretching from central Kansas eastward to the Missouri border. Inside that yellow zone, you see significant hatching across nearly the entire area. That means hail 2 inches in diameter or larger is a real possibility. 2-inch hail cracks windshields, dents hoods and roof lines, and can total an unprotected vehicle in minutes. If you have the option to park in a garage today, do it. This is not quarter-sized stuff. This is pool ball-sized ice falling at highway speed. Now here is the Day 1 wind probability map. A 15% damaging wind contour sits over that same central Kansas corridor, roughly between Wichita and the Nebraska border. Storms in this environment can produce gusts near 65 miles per hour, strong enough to snap tree limbs, throw patio furniture, and peel shingles. Secure anything loose in your yard before the afternoon. Looking at the Day 1 tornado probability map. A small 2% contour covers eastern Nebraska into the southwestern corner of Iowa. That is a very low number. A brief tornado or two cannot be ruled out, but wind and hail damage are the primary threats today, not tornadoes. If a tornado warning does reach your phone, get to an interior room on the lowest floor immediately, but do not let tornado anxiety drive your planning today. Hail and straight-line wind are what will cause the most damage. Now I want to show you exactly which cities fall inside these risk zones, because if yours is on this list, your afternoon plans need to change. Wichita sits inside the slight risk, the highest category on today's outlook. Moving into the marginal zone, this affects a much larger population corridor. Grand Island, Kearney, and North Platte across central and western Nebraska. Lincoln and Omaha on the eastern side. Kansas City and St. Louis in Missouri. Amarillo and LUBUK in the Texas Panhandle. If you live in any of these metros, strong to severe storms are possible in your area today. The most intense hail and wind will be concentrated closer to that central Kansas core, but isolated severe cells can reach any of these cities. On your screen now is the model radar forecast. Storms initiate along the front between 2 and 3 p.m. Central Time across western Nebraska and northwest Kansas. They organize and push east between 4 and 6 p.m., carrying the largest hail. By 7 to 9 p.m., the line reaches the Lincoln and Omaha metro, transitioning more toward a wind-driven mode as it picks up speed. After 10 p.m., storms weaken as they lose daytime heating. My call. The corridor from Salina to Manhattan, Kansas, and points just north toward the state line will likely see the most intense hail between 4 and 5:30 p.m. This is where the significant hail hatching, the strongest storm fuel, and the arrival of the cold front all intersect. Tomorrow the threat shifts east and stays elevated. Day 2 carries a slight risk with a 15% wind and 15% hail zone sliding into northeastern Kansas and northern Missouri, and significant hail hatching appears again across that corridor. Day 3 keeps a slight risk focused from eastern Colorado through Iowa. Then the extended outlook gets more interesting. Sunday and Monday both carry 30% severe weather probabilities across the central and northern plains, which is enhanced level territory. That pattern is still 5 days out and details will change, but it signals a potentially more significant multi-day event building into next week. I will be updating those outlooks daily as confidence increases. No notable backside weather with this system. The cold air trailing the front is modest, and no snow or freeze concerns exist across the northern tier. The data is clear, but the skies are changing. Keep an eye on the outlook. Doppler out.